Well, hey guys, welcome back, Thorzax, and okay, what's on the agenda today? I got a little story to tell you real quick, and about a month ago I seen a 590 Mossberg shotgun that was in a local gun store, and I was holding off on buying it. I don't know why. I had the money, I could have bought it right then and there, but I didn't. I wanted to go home and sleep on it. Well, I just kind of put it off in the back burner and just didn't really even kind of think about it. Well, the other day I was thinking about it. I was watching a few videos on YouTube, and that got my interest back in looking at that 590 that was in a local gun shop. So what I did is I went out the other day and I went into the gun shop, and of course when I got back there to the gun rack where I found it, it had already been sold. So I drove around to different gun shops that are in my area, and I was just basically having a day of going to the gun shops and just kind of looking around and stuff. But I did find one thing that I've always wanted. Never really, threw the money out for it, and there were reasons why I was resisting doing so. For one thing, I'm not a great big fan of the 9mm. I've never been a huge fan of the 9mm. However, the 9mm is very, very economical to reload. I've gotten very good accuracy with the 9mm cast, molds that I have and the powder combinations that I have. And in general, it's a very cheap cartridge to reload for. So you get a lot of shooting, a lot of bang for your buck with a 9mm. Now, I have the Beretta. I have a 5906 Smith & Wesson. And there was one gun that I really wanted throughout the years now, but I just never really stepped up and just said, oh, the heck with it, I'm just going to go ahead and buy one. So what I've got here is, I don't want to say it's an unboxing. I don't want to say it's unboxing. Just sort of like a quick review. Okay, I went out and I purchased a CZ-75. Came with a really nice case. It's got all the little accoutrements, got your little trigger thing that you can wrap through the gun and make it safe, and it came with politically correct, 10-round magazines, so they can sell it in any state here in the United States, which, these are fine for just going out to the range. You're going to shoot 5 rounds more, that sort of thing. I have other magazines for it, so, I purchased those as well. Came with all your basic instructions, came with a test target. One thing though about CZ really should step up to the bat in, making this readable, okay? I don't know about you, but I'm vision challenged, and I have to read this with a magnifying glass. So that's one drawback I found out about their instructions. As far as the test target that came with it, of course your warranty card and everything that everybody sends in. This was the test target that they sent me. And to tell you the truth, I find this to be a challenge. Because, you know what? At 25 yards, I'll be able to do better than that. I mean, they got one over here, they got one here, and they got 3 across here out of 5 shots. This is supposed to be shot at 25 meters, so about 27 yards, 28 yards, whatever it is. But, I can do better than that. Proper hand loads, sizing, that sort of thing, your hold, your grip, whatever. There you go. So, anyway, I wanted to show you the pistol. I wonder if I should zoom in here a little bit. See if I can zoom in. Okay, as you can see, it's your typical CZ. This is a single action, it's not double action, as you can tell by the trigger. Okay, I wanted a single action because I find that for target shooting, single actions are just a better choice. One thing I wanted to show you, let me go ahead and take the magazine out of it. And I'll show you guys also that it's unloaded. Okay, got an empty chamber there. Okay, there's nothing in there. All right. One thing I have found about this gun, it has an over travel screw already for the trigger. The trigger actually, the trigger pull is quite heavy, but it still breaks, quite nice. So it does have a good trigger on it. However, I think later on I might change the recoil spring in it. Let me back up here. I might change the recoil spring and that sort of thing. There's a million videos on the CZ-75 out there on YouTube that show you how to break it down and everything. Ergonomically, this pistol fits your hand very well. I mean, it has sort of the same. Well, a lot of people say it was copied, but I think what happened is that at CZ they realized that the Browning High Power had a very good grip angle to it, and that for like 90% of all people, the High Power seemed to really fit a lot of people, even though it was a double stack magazine. One drawback to the Beretta is that the Beretta is criticized for being too wide, okay, for average size hands like mine. And I find that to be true, I can shoot my Beretta quite well, but, I have to position myself in a way to make sure that I'm gripping that in the same way every time. This pistol just drops right in and boom, you're there. Now, there's lots of upgrades you can do. You can go ahead and you can send this off to Cajun Gunworks and you can have a Bomar style rear sight put in. You can have a taller front sight put in. You can go with high visibility sights. These sights right here are the Tritium one, glow in the dark. I think you guys can see it out there. It's just doing its little thing. All right. And also, we got ambidextrous safety. The gun itself is fitted very tightly. It's made to very tight tolerances. Also, I found that the people at CZ, their philosophy is that if you have to keep taking the gun apart and cleaning it and taking it apart and cleaning it and taking it apart and cleaning it and taking it apart and cleaning it, what you're doing is you're causing a lot of unnecessary wear to the gun. And so things that I have found about the CZs is that the takedown, where you have your slide stop takedown like the 1911, this is very difficult to remove. I mean, you have to use a plastic tool on this side and literally push as hard as you can to get that to come out. And also, at the same time, you have two little scribe lines back here on the back, and you have to line those up in a certain way, okay, for that to be free enough to be pushed out. And it won't come out on its own. You literally have to really push on it to get it to come out. I really like the pistol. This is just kind of my bench review of the gun. I find it to be well made. I mean, there's no real slop in that slide. And also, another thing that a lot of people have said about the CZ is the bore access to the grip is low. Okay, and so it puts the sights down low enough so when you're shooting, you can shoot it more accurately. Now, I'm a proponent of sight alignment. So, wherever your sights are, whether they're like 2 inches high off the barrel or 3 inches high off the barrel or whatever, the bottom line is that your ability to hold the gun straight by aligning the sights should have everything to do with it. And your bore axis really doesn't have that much to do with it other than economics. Okay, making it more shootable. Let's put it that way. The shootability of the gun has been renowned. A lot of people love these guns. They shoot real well. Most of your, just people that are novice, people that are just, are greenhorns that have bought these, they take them out to the range to put all the shots in the black. So, I'm looking forward to my range time with this. As soon as we get some warm weather up here, we'll go ahead and we'll start doing that. The one thing that I will say also about the CZ is that most of the mass in the gun is in the slide. Now this is a steel frame. You can go ahead and get these in the lightweight aluminum alloy frames, and also you can get it in a polymer frame if you choose to do so. But I like my guns made out of steel. You know, I just like them made out of steel. That's it. If you like polymer guns, that's great. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to put anybody down for having a polymer gun. Also, another thing that's unique about the pistol, slide to the rear. I don't know if you can see it or not, but the actual, you know, the slide rails are cut into the frame, and it's uniquely designed so that the slide works inside the frame rather than outside the frame. So, you know, that's something that's you don't see every day. It's got a very smooth sides, that sort of thing. One thing I will say is the cocking serrations. It'd probably be more benefit, you know, to have the cocking serrations up here so that you can go ahead and cock the pistol or load the pistol. Basically, you're stuck going like this. Or, you know, you can go like that if you want to, whatever, if you feel, you know, safe enough to do so. That's about it, though. That's the CZ-75. And we'll be doing some shooting with this, some reloading, and I've got some factory ammunition we'll put through it. Overall, you know, I feel that it's, you know, something I've always wanted to share that with you, and hopefully I'll be able to put them all in the black. You know, there's been a lot of people that have made match guns out of these for, you know, IDPA, all kinds of, you know, different shooting disciplines. And there's one guy, believe it or not, there's one guy out there, and I want to give him a little bit of a shout out. I think most people would probably, you know, think that his channel is, you know, is rather boring. But he's a bullseye guy. And he shoots CZ pistols. His name is Joe Mustang. And he's an older guy. He's into the sport, and he has match grade 45s and a match grade, you know, 22, but he's been doing a lot of work with these CZs I've seen, and he has really good results with them. So he's kind of being a source, I guess, for the guys that want to accurize their CZ pistols, because he's done trigger upgrades, spring upgrades, that sort of thing to his pistols. So it's, you know, it's worth a watch, you know. So that's pretty much it. So this is Thorzax, and I'm signing out. I'll see you in the next video, and we'll get some range time in with the CZ. Until next time.